little shake there. For today's shave, we're talking about somebody else who was watching, and that's the French. Now, all the history books are going to tell us that the French were our allies very early on, and they were. They gave us a lot of aid, they gave us ammunition, they sent some advisors, unofficially of course, early on in '76, not too much in the way of official advisors. But there's some volunteers or retired people who says, let's talk to the Americans and help them out a little bit. And the thing was, and not necessarily on the cause of liberty. We might have mentioned that in the last video, but maybe not. They were really more interested in irritating the English than anything else. Our razor today, by the way, is a Rougeau de Monde from the Thiers. That's a Thiers Izzard. It's a French razor, kind of for this shave, and also using Prix de Provence French soap. I'm going to have a couple of French things, and this is one of them. So the French had been in a 7 years war with England, and it went very badly for them. So they were really looking for a way to weaken the English, to get under the skin, just to be a bother. And this American problem, the colonies, handed it to them right on a silver platter. A very neat way to irritate the British. This is King Louis the Sixth, I think. Yeah, if there's an opportunity to irritate the British, they were going to take that opportunity. So they were giving us aid through the same ports that the Dutch were there in the East Caribbean, and also by, under the table deals there at the dock, a little smuggling here and there, maybe some through New Orleans to the western side, but getting us materials that we need for the war, also in exchange for our timber and pitch. Yes, sweetie. Cat's talking to me over here. Don't be surprised if you don't hear a little thunder out here. It was 80 degrees earlier today, and that's strange and this early in the spring. Safety cat senses something's happening, and she's on station now. The first pass, French razors are pretty good. Now there are names and things that you can look up of people, but early on they're finding this interesting, and there are other countries that are in the same boat, finding us ways to get back at the English, maybe chances for profit, or even worrying about profit. They may lose things. There's some intrigue, and there's more layers to this. As I've been studying this, more layers to this revolution than you remember from your history classes. And I'm hoping you're enjoying these thoughts, because I'm learning this along with you. It really has been pretty interesting. I knew that the French and the English didn't get along, but I didn't realize just how badly the French hated the English. And how far it went. I don't know if I gotta think that, and I'll find out more, that King Louis was a fairly level-headed guy. I don't think he was prone to fits of anger or anything like that, but he certainly was taking this opportunity, and his ministers also taking this opportunity to really dig at the English. In the triangle, or the ironic part of all this, is there was money involved, but it was from the bankers, the Dutch bankers, that were carrying the notes on all this, which we were talking about in the last shave. So you got the English and the French had a big war, and a lot of that was financed through Dutch banks here in Amsterdam. And then we have this. We don't have a line of credit yet over there, but it's for sure that that's something that we're trying to get set up with. Right now we're still just rebels, but you can see the pieces starting to come together as far as who holds the money, who sees profit, who is trying to help out, who's wondering what's going to happen to their profit. Maybe not out in front with how the war's going or how this shapes up, but certainly important players off the edge of the page are, we'll use Lucky Tiger today because, well, you know, it's Bay Rum. They're a player there in the Caribbean, Eastern Caribbean. We have the French players, and next, maybe one that we haven't talked about much and isn't talked about much, and surprised me, the Spanish, but they're next. Please leave a like, and if you're liking this kind of content, if you have more suggestions or other facts, please leave them in the comments. I'm Major Rich. You find me at theshavingcountry.com, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.